Hello everyone, welcome back to VR in a wheelchair. I tested out real VR fishing. I was looking at it and I couldn't really find anything that did so a wheelchair user couldn't play it. But I wanted to test it out anyway because I wanted to play it myself. When you start out the game, you get introduced to a nice simple tutorial that guides you through everything needed to understand the game. This also introduces the first problem for me, because for me the tutorial box, as you see in the video running right now, was very close to me. So I had to look basically down on my chest to read what the tutorial said. I know that she basically said the same as the voiceover, but I like to read along, because then I actually remember what is being said. The tutorial also tells you how you move around, and I would love to see an option to where you can put turning on the auto controller when you're using both hands mode. In this case, the movement and the turning is both on the right hand. I would love it for the turning to be on the left hand or the other way around. And then also the sensitivity of when it actually reacts to a movement on the joystick is way too sensitive. I basically didn't move the joystick and then my character turned or moved forward. But that is only, you can only move around inside the lodge, so it's not a problem when you're actually fishing. You very quickly get going on fishing and it's super simple to understand. I struggled a little bit with the tiring of the fish, where you have to quickly move the joystick in whatever direction the game tells you to get it stunned, basically, so you can wheel it in faster. It's not the game's fault, and thankfully you can still catch the fish without having to do the tiring part. I only tried on normal difficulty and with both hands option. I wanted to test out the game, so I didn't want to bump up the difficulty. I did flip the dominant hand just to see how it worked, and it works perfectly. So if you are lefty, as you like to have the fishing rod in your left hand, then you can do that. It works perfectly fine. You start out in Korea. And then West USA is a DLC, sadly. I actually thought it was a free DLC, but it cost $11.99. It says that on the Oculus website. I just didn't see it. You can go to different places in the different countries. So I tried 3 maps in Korea, and the first map is a day map. It's also the map where the tutorial is. And it looks beautiful. The city looks great. The water looks great. The second location is a night map, and sadly you fairly quickly notice that the background is basically a flat picture with moving lights on. It doesn't look super great, sadly, but the day maps are awesome. The fish also looks amazing. The details on the scales and everything is great. It also reflects the sunlight a tiny bit, but the fishes looks awesome, and that's also the main part of the game. We have to remember that the main part of the game is that you need to catch a fish, not to look at the cityscapes. A nice little Easter egg though is that in the night map in Korea, there was actually being fired off fireworks. I think it's an event that still goes on, but I'm not sure. When you catch a fish, you get the option to actually take a picture of it, so you can brag to your wife, your kids, your girlfriend, whatever you want to brag to your friends, and say, haha, I've caught this fish. Aren't I great? Yes. There's a point that I wish that the game was not helping you as much. When you catch a fish, you have to pull up in the fishing rod to get it out of the water. And then your character automatically grabs the line where the fish is at. I would love if they would actually do so you have to do that manually. I don't know if that's on the harder difficulties, but I can't see a reason for why it would be on harder difficulty, because it's natural for you to grab something that flies in there. In general, the game honestly has a really zen-like feeling to it. It's very relaxing to sit there and fish, and you can even invite your friends that has the game to come and fish with you, where you can actually talk to each other while fishing. I need to have more friends on VR, because I don't have any friends that can join me in games like these, sadly. But I would love to. So if you're not a friend of mine on Darklist, then add me, Crazy Lexian, on there. The game is fully playable as a wheelchair user. I didn't try the boats because I'm not high enough level, but I walked onto one that is in the lodge, and I cannot see a reason for it to be a problem. I will give an update if it is, but I highly doubt that it is a problem. The game generally looks visually good, and it's very calming to play. And I can honestly play it for hours, I feel, without any problems. And without being bored. Because the higher level you get, the bigger fish you can catch. And also the more locations you unlock. The controllers are great. The only problem is when you move around in a lodge that the sensitivity is way too high. But that's only in the lodge, not when you actually fish. So it's not like a giant problem, I would say. It has a good sound design. You can change the way that the reel sounds. You can change it from default to realistic, and 2 other options. I personally don't like the realistic one. It sounded kind of fake to me. I don't know if it is, but it kind of sounded fake to me. So I will be changing back to the default sound of the reel, because for me that's better. I like the clicky sound. The game cost $19.99 for the main game, and then $11.99 for the US West DLC. I actually find that a fair price. Maybe not for DLC, but for the main game, I actually find that as a nice price, a fair price. So if you like calming games and just want to relax, then you definitely give it a go. You can even, as said earlier, you can play with friends, so you can relax together, talk about whatever you want to talk about. And also, if you are generally into fishing, I actually think that this game would please that point of fishing when you can't do it yourself. For whatever weather reason or something like that. The game has the ability to place a YouTube overlay over the game so you can watch YouTube while fishing. I didn't try that myself because of DMCA. But it's a nice feature that it's there. I can definitely see use for it, for when you are sitting there for like an hour, then you have like a podcast or whatever running in the background while fishing. That awesome. You can also have music, but it requires that you actually put the music on the headset itself. Remember that I'm streaming here on YouTube every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday at 2 p.m. EST. The times will be up in the left corner of this video here. I hope you like my review and test of real VR fishing. If you did and you would like to see more like this, then subscribe to my channel and remember to like the video. Please also leave a comment for feedback to me or just say hi. I will reply back. With that said, guys, I hope that I will see you in the next video or in the next live stream. Bye!